Hello all and welcome to MMB PCP Review. We're going to get back to some grassroots stuff when the channel first started. A lot of you out there love Sig Air products. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan, but that doesn't mean that they don't have their place and that I don't understand why they are so, loved by a lot of people. I think I got a down computer. Let's see what happens there. Anyhow, I tried to review a few of these, and I did the Virtus. I wasn't really impressed with that. Mostly because the price for what you get it's kind of pricey for what you're getting with the low power and a lot of quality control issues. Well, some of their line, if not all do suffer from somewhat of a quality control issue. Though I've heard it reported that some people get some good ones and they really are satisfied with them. So we got to give that the benefit of the doubt. And of course, but at the same time, we take it with a grain of salt too, because we don't know if A, they're using these all the time or they're sitting around, or B, they just happen to get a good one on a good assembly day. Now I have my own ideas why Sig Air products, I say to my standards, and mine may vary from yours according to what your needs and desires are. But I did purchase the Sig Mpx Air, and it's a CO2 version, and it took the 90-gram canisters of CO2, and I did a conversion because I don't want the big CO2 canisters on mine. I don't find I'm using them enough, spending enough time with them in one period to use them. But what I did find out very quickly is that I had a lot of jams. And it wasn't just one thing causing the jam. There was a kind of a compiling issues that were causing the jams. And although, we'll pull it up here, although these Air pneumatic systems are really cool to look at, and they feel good in the hands. There's no doubt when you grab this, you feel like you're grabbing a hold of something that's stout and sturdy, and I guess you could say that, stout and sturdy. It's only when you dive into them that you realize that things on the inside are not as they appear to be on the outside. And that's not a deal breaker either, because at this particular price point, you can't expect super high quality. But what you should expect is something that functions. So I was unfortunate enough, it was very unfortunate for me to have one that wasn't functioning properly, and I did have to dive into it multiple times and correct some issues when they arose. And I believe I've corrected these issues, and no, I can't give you exactly what I did to these particular units, and I kind of shouldn't have on the Virtus either. And that's simply because of the materials that they're made of. The highest quality part inside of a Sig Mpx or Virtus or what have you is the stainless barrel, the internal stainless barrel. They're straight, they're machined nice, but the overall function of how they work, in my opinion, lacks a bit to be desired. And like I said, for a lot of people, it doesn't make a difference because let's face it, they're really cool to look at. But now that we've got this one functioning, we have to do some testing with it, because I promised you testing a long time ago when I was having nothing but trouble and I really couldn't get you guys a lot of good testing. Well, now we have proper testing weather. We have one that functions now, although, yes, I have fixed a lot of the issues. Like I said, I'm not going to pass that on to you because I don't want anyone ever having anything malfunction or getting hurt because of me. So that's simply not going to happen. The only thing that I will show you is we are running a small CO2 canister instead. But I believe that what I have accomplished with this is made it very much more reliable and usable. I would never, let me make this clear, this is my opinion. Yours may vary. But based on my experience, I would never take a pneumatic block, and that's what this is. It runs off of pneumatics, which is high pressure. And I would never convert something that's made of pot metal to HPA. I just would not do that. It's not something I suggest. I would suggest that you don't. And if you do, that's your business. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I know we all like power, and I would too. And if I thought this could withstand it over a long period of time, I would definitely do it. And I'm sure there's people out there who've done it and they'll swear by it and say, I've had it for a long time. We use it all the time. And it's not an issue. But in my mind, I won't do it, especially when there's other options out there that in my mind seem a lot more safe. Now, that all being said, it has come time to test, to get some foot-pounds, to get some energy. We'll get the FPS, and we'll get some standard deviation, and we'll actually see just if this thing has any type of accuracy. I'm not expecting much with a short little barrel. This is a 177, and I will tell you the best luck I've had cycling through this, and I have done some different things to make this cycle better, but the best thing I have is the Crosman Premier pointed 7.4. I find these cycle the best in this. Is it my pellet of choice? Not even close. But for this particular one, it cycles the best. So without having to get, jams, that's what I'm going to be using for the testing. I'm not going to test this thing out past 10, 15 yards, maybe max. But we'll start at 10. We'll go to 15, and we'll see if it maintains any kind of accuracy. It may surprise us. We'll have to see how the testing goes because I haven't done it yet. And you'll go along for that ride with me. So stay right there, and I'll be right back. Be a blink of an eye for you, and hours for me. But we're going to get it done. So stay right there, and thanks for watching. Okay, here we go. I have just did a quick test and ran the CO2 pretty much down. I just put a fresh one in. We're going to get some foot-pounds and some FPS out of this, running the Premier 177s by Crosman, 7.4 grain. I will tell you this is cycling a lot better, and I'm not having any issues with this, which is fantastic, at least on that first initial one that I just did. So let's see what we got here, and if we can get some feet per second. You might be surprised at what this is going to do. And maybe not. We'll have to see. Let's see what we got here. Already here. There we go. Come on. Link up. Link up. There we are. 448 feet per second with 3.30 foot-pounds. Not too bad. Okay. And we have an Air. I was having this last time too, so let's see what our standard deviation is going to be. 438 feet per second with 3.15 foot-pounds. We're not up there close to that 500 where I thought we would be. But let's keep going. Standard deviation 7.0. It is a warm day out. It's about 82. Another Air. This Caldwell chronograph does not like a 177 pellet. I will tell you that right now. 428, 3.01 foot-pounds. Oh, they don't have a lot of power, guys. We got 3. Shot number 4 that will count, hopefully. We have an Air. And let's go. This will be .424, 2.95 foot-pounds. Standard deviation 10.75. Not too terrible for a CO2 so far. Everyone has came out the end so far, so that's good. And let's try one more. .426 and 2.98 foot-pounds. So everything is lubed and working properly inside. We don't have, it's not up there, definitely not up there for a 7.4 grain. I was expecting closer to 5s, and it is a warm day, so we should, in my mind, we should have been getting that. But nonetheless, standard deviation 10.06, not too bad. Do we do an accuracy test? I guess we can. Nothing's preventing us. Let me get a target up there. We're at 15 yards. Let's see what this short little barrel... You know what? Let's do 10 yards. Let's start at 10. Let's see what this little barrel will do at 10 yards, and then we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. We'll start a new string and also try to get a target here. I'm just using a red dot, so nothing fancy. And I know I don't have it sighted in, and I got stuff on my lens and you name it, but I'm just going to aim for center and see what we got here. 462 and 3.51 foot-pounds. Is it coming into it? That is the question, and that was almost a bullseye. I'll show you this target when we're done, guys. 10 yards. .451 feet per second and 3.34. So I think we're rising above the last shot string. Maybe some things just need to settle. It's definitely not no tack driver, that's for sure, but 463 feet per second and 3.52 foot-pounds. Standard deviation of the old mark of the beast. We are hitting the target though, which is good. 10 yards. That one wasn't too shabby. 453 feet per second, 3.37 foot-pounds. And keep in mind, this is a 7.4 grain. And shot number 5, and no airs this time, but I'd have a blowing target. So give me a minute, and hopefully that'll, there we go. Moving target. .437 with 3.14 foot-pounds. Let me grab that target. I'm going to bring it back to you guys and show you the target. Then I'm going to sit it back out there, and we're going to just touch off the rest. So that was a 5, and still standard deviation 10.50. That's what I'm impressed with. It's got a decent standard deviation for a CO2. What do we have? A max of 453, a bit better than before. And yeah, not too bad. 452, okay. Not too bad. Okay, let me grab that target. Be right back. All right, here we go. Yeah, now keep in mind this is a small target. We're at 10 yards, but I mean nothing really close to write home to mom about. We're here, and here was here, and here, and the last two we put there. So definitely nothing to write home to mom about. But let's see if we can set this off a bit and see if at least they all hit the target with some rapid rapid trigger pulls and see what happens. Stay right there. All right, so keep in mind that that last one too was on the same canister, same little CO2 that's in here, little one. If you guys, I didn't show that to you. Here we are with this. Pull that off here. Come on. We're just running a little canister here. So I think it's coming into it. I may have to do some farther testing down the line, and I'll definitely let you guys know if the FPS picks up a little bit as it perhaps breaks in a little bit from the fixes that I've done. But I'm starting a new string. We've set off 5, so we should. I'm not going to go for the. We'll do 20. Let's do 20. Do a round of 10, then another round of 10, and let's see the standard deviation again and see what we get for a max for. I'm still on the same target for foot-pounds here. And man, I got to change this because I have a dirty reticle. That is for sure. Just a red dot, 10 yards. Well, that time we had a, what was our max? 443, average of 406. Okay, so power's dropping off, but I will tell you every single one of those did hit if it was center mass of target. It's starting to group better. I'm going to show you this when I get done. If you remember the target before, I'm going to show you just even that. It was grouping better. I have a feeling things are settling in with this. So that was 10. Let's continue it. And keep in mind that canister is getting colder every time I pull it. Another 10. And every one counted. Look at that. So power's dropping off, but still average 391.81. With a max of 443 still. So power's definitely dropping off. Every single, I believe every single shot is counting. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm going too fast and it's missing, but I don't see any errors. So let's see what we got left in here. Yeah, we're out. Yeah, we're definitely empty. Okay, tell by the change of the sound. So there we go. Average 391.81 out of that full string. Not too shabby. I don't think that's bad for a little CO2 on a little cartridge. We could probably see a bit more FPS by changing the pellet, but I think as far as this goes, I'm going to call this and we're actually hitting target now, and I didn't have any jams, so that's great. I'm going to grab that target. And speak of that, we'll show you center mass. Okay, guys, here we go. Every single one, with the exception of the one up top, was one of my first shots in the first string. There, we got them all right there, and it started piling them right in here. So it was coming into it a little bit. But if this is, you know, to give you an idea of the size, I don't know if you can really. This is a small little target. It's considered a 50-yard target by Birchwood Casey, but it's a small caliber target. And give this. There's a size of a top of a tin of pellets, so you can see not too bad. You're definitely hitting center mass, but is it a tack driver? No, it's never going to be with that little barrel. It never will be. But I'm going to save these groups, and I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think? I think it's too bad. Let's go over it. Let's see what we got. Let's go over it real quick. And we can call this one, at least we'll call this a win for the Sig this time. All right. I want to go back. I don't want all of them here. All right. That's a set 25. So over that big string that we had just then, and we had That one in particular one was 17. I pulled the trigger 17 times, I guess that's what it's saying that it caught anyhow. And started out at 443. That was its best, and it was settling. We had a standard deviation of 28.10, not too bad with that CO2 canister getting cold. And one before, and we had a best of 462 and 3.51 foot-pounds. Okay, not too bad. And look at our standard deviation, 10. This is what I would say that this is actually a legitimate test with standard deviation. 10.50 is what this seems to be. Standard deviation 10.06, 10.50. The one that I did when I was trying to make sure it was working, and I did a rapid again. We did a 4.54, and then the next rapid one that we did. Well, of course, hold on, that's a whole different story because the CO2 is getting low. Standard deviation 20 people. So everything's comparing. They're right in the realm. So this 10.50 and this 10.06 is your real standard deviation that you're going to get legitimately if you're using this and you're not going nuts with it. If you are pulling the trigger fast, of course, it's going to go up there. It's going to jump up there, but it's still not too shabby. And it is fun. And if Sig could make these things so they were a bit more dependable, and you didn't have to dive into them to make them function right and not jam and cycle right and move the air properly, they would be a lot more enjoyable. So this one will actually get a lot more use now that it's functioning right. When I first got this, I couldn't pull the trigger more than 3-4 times and it would jam up on me. But it's a win now, and now it's fun. Like I said, I wouldn't add any power to this. I just wouldn't do it. I don't think that they're safe. I don't know if you could see the end or not, but it looks like the smoke's rolling out the end there. It's not smoke, it's CO2, it's air, but it makes it puffs, and that makes for a good TV. If you could see that, you might not be able to because of the rest, but 6 hour Mpx. Now it's kind of fun. Thanks for watching MMB PCP review and checking out this awesome pneumatic. Thanks, guys. Bye.